Hello everyone, welcome to the Vegan Voyage Guide. My name is Rebecca and I have started this channel as a vegan travel guide, where we'll be sharing vegan restaurant reviews, travel tips and also talk about animal rights. Since this is my first video on this channel, I will give you a small backstory and tell you what kind of content I have planned. However, if you want to jump directly into the vegan travel tips for visiting Spain and specifically Tenerife, you can go to this timestamp right here and you will skip directly to the relevant part of the video. If you are interested in the backstory of the Vegan Voyage Guide, let me tell you a bit about my vegan journey and how it has led me to creating this channel. And while we're at it, I'll show you around this botanical garden I met, which is situated in the capital of Tenerife and has spectacular views of the city. So let's get into it. I have stopped eating meat 5 years ago in 2018 and have been vegan since July 2020. And ever since, I had wanted to do some form of activism to help the animals. I especially admire activists who are having street discussions and help spread awareness in public. And I will link some channels and resources down below. Personally, I'd love to try this type of activism at some point, but I have social anxiety and I don't think I'd stay calm enough to have productive and informative discussions. So I always fear that it might do more harm than good if I tried this type of outreach. However, if you are interested in discussions on the topic of animal rights, do check out the videos in the info box.
Can I?
Yeah.
For YouTube?
One thing in regard to public outreach that always stood out to me was how many people would say that they already aligned with the idea of veganism, yet continue to eat meat, even if they feel bad about it because they don't want to continue contributing to the pain and suffering that the animal industry causes. They feel like they just wouldn't be able to be vegan. I remember how guilty I felt the last year before I stopped eating meat and how overwhelmed I was by cutting out animal products. I felt like a hypocrite and hated the fact that I continued to cause harm to the animals. But making the change just felt impossible. And yet, in hindsight, stopping to eat and purchase animal products doesn't seem like a difficult change at all. And being vegan doesn't feel like a sacrifice, but rather like an incredible enrichment. On one hand, there is this peace of mind that comes with having your actions finally align with your morals. On the other hand, being vegan now is easier than it has ever been. I remember when I started being vegetarian in 2018, the only plant-based option in my local supermarket were these green, stick-like sausages that tasted like cardboard. Now there's fully vegan restaurants and most supermarkets have vegan mock meats and vegan cheese, and there's not a single meal that I knew from when I still ate meat that you couldn't recreate as a vegan version. However, if you are not vegan yet, or if you are still in the process of making the change, it can be intimidating, and especially when traveling to other countries where you might not know the language, it can feel like a struggle to find vegan food. So I'm hoping that sharing some tips and recommendations for new vegans can be my form of activism. And maybe my videos can show you that traveling as a vegan is a lot easier than you might think. I speak from experience because I live in Tenerife, which is an island that belongs to Spain and is also a popular travel destination. And to me, it's amazing how much has changed over the last years. However, even though there's tons of options in restaurants and supermarkets available now, I know of people who couldn't find any vegan restaurant when they went on vacation to Tenerife and felt like being a vegan here was very hard, simply because they didn't know where to look for vegan products in supermarkets or how to find vegan restaurants. Also, some parts of the island do have a lot more vegan restaurants available and are better for vegan grocery shopping than others. So that's something you might want to consider before booking your vacation. If you have not heard of Happy Cow, I would definitely recommend you download the app and have a look at the area in which you are planning to book your stay. You can use filters to find fully vegan restaurants or look for vegan options in restaurants that also serve animal products. In Tenerife, most vegan restaurants are situated in the Santa Cruz La Laguna area. However, in Puerto de la Cruz, there have been a few fully vegan restaurants starting out as well, And you can also find some vegan restaurants in the south of the island. Hello! Some of my top restaurant recommendations that I will also show you in full depth in my upcoming videos would be Sweet Paradise and Isla Pizza. Sweet Paradise is a fully vegan restaurant situated in Santa Cruz, where they have, in my opinion, the best vegan burgers in all of Tenerife. Isla Pizza is this hidden gem in La Laguna and unfortunately not fully vegan, but they do have a separate vegan menu and offer the most amazing vegan pizzas. When looking for supermarkets, being close to Santa Cruz and La Laguna is worth it as well, because I would recommend both the Carrefour and the El Campo in La Laguna for a large selection of vegan options. The El Campo in Orotava doesn't have as much choice as the one in La Laguna, and in general that is an important thing to keep in mind. Only because one supermarket of a specific franchise has good options available does not mean all of them do. For example, some Ipardino have vegan cheese, butter and a big selection of vegan yogurts, while others just don't have vegan cheese or butter at all and only very few vegan yogurts. If you are looking for plant-based mock meats, Ipardino is not a good choice either. You might want to go to Lidl for vegan burgers and more, or to Aldi, which has only opened very recently for some vegan schnitzel, mock meat and really tasty tofu. Other than Ipardino, some more supermarket chains that are based either on the Canary Islands or in Spain are Alteza and Mercadona. However, I feel like it might be a bit more difficult to look for vegan groceries in those supermarkets, simply because things aren't labeled as clearly. Also, if you already know Lidl or Aldi from where you live, it might be easier to find everything. The Lidls I have been to in Germany and England were set up very similarly to the ones in Tenerife. Also, Lidl does a really good job at labeling everything, so vegan products are especially easy to spot, and while the overall setup stays the same internationally, they always make sure to include some typical local foods as well. One recommendation would be vegan tortilla, which is traditionally a thick type of Spanish omelette with onion and potatoes. There are vegan versions that use chickpeas instead of egg, available in Lidl, El Campo and Carrefour. Okay, yeah, thank you plane. I have no idea if you can hear this in the audio, but I think I'm just gonna wait until the plane is gone, just so I'm not gonna ruin the whole recording. If you're interested in more tips and recommendations, feel free to subscribe to my channel. I will be uploading more content like this in the near future. So starting out, my videos will mostly be focusing on Spain and especially on Tenerife. This is mainly because I haven't done a whole lot of traveling myself lately, and also because I live here. And Tenerife is not just a popular travel destination, but also has lots of vegan restaurants and products to offer, especially if you consider how small the island is. By the way, in case you are wondering, the botanical garden I have shown you in this video is called Palmetum and is located in Santa Cruz, which is the capital of Tenerife. If you'd like a more in-depth video about this location and maybe some info on where to get vegan food nearby, let me know in the comments below and I will make a separate video focusing only on the spot. Can you see those? So apparently, I've just been told by staff that there's going to be a sort of light festival here at this botanical garden, and they've just been putting up all the lights. It's end of October right now, and the festival will be going on all of November, December and January, and I'm gonna head down later and ask them what else is going on during that time.
El Palmetum no tiene nada que ver, por decirlo así, con esto de la naturaleza encendida, en el sentido de que nada más que dejan lo que es el jardín.
Ah, vale.
¿Sabes? Pero es una empresa externa.
Okay, so I just learned from some staff that apparently the light show isn't directly being organized by Palmetum itself. It's being organized by a whole different company, which means that you can't just stay longer and enjoy the light show with your normal Palmetum tickets, because usually Palmetum closes at 6 p.m. You'd need to get separate tickets just for the light show. If you are vegan and interested in visiting the Canary Islands, or if you want to know more about vegan grocery shopping in Spanish supermarkets, stay tuned. I will be recommending vegan restaurants and supermarkets for your stay during my upcoming videos. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Bye!